All right, welcome back here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. I'm Nick Sturdivant. We want to give you a quick update. I was able to look up the latest when it comes to Hurricane Melissa. So we did a lot of reporting on Hurricane Melissa, the damage. The folks there in Jamaica still picking up the pieces. There's still a lot of work and recovery efforts that need to be done there in Jamaica. We're talking about 2 weeks. We were doing the math just a few minutes ago. It's been about 2 weeks since Hurricane Melissa slammed into Jamaica, and the island is still struggling to recover. And you're talking about one of the most destructive storms in recent memory. And if you remember, a couple of days after Hurricane Melissa hit Jamaica, we were able to speak with a woman from Charlotte. Well, let me not say from Charlotte. She's from Charleston, but she lives here in Charlotte. I want to say she's from Charlotte because she's been in Charlotte longer than she's been alive, according to her. But we got a chance to talk to her, and she was there first, and she rode out the storm. She was there for a wedding, I believe. And you may remember her, Dacquin Curry, in person. We asked her to come back, and she's here. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm well.
You well?
Yes.
I know we talked about it while you were there. Thankfully, the Wi-Fi held up so we could do the interview.
It did.
It did.
Take us back when Hurricane Melissa hit, because you were there for a wedding, right?
Yes.
And you were there with your husband, right?
Yes. Was there for my cousin's wedding.
Oh.
So there were like a little over 30 of us there.
What was, I know this is like the cliche question, but what was that like? I mean, I'm sure you were terrified.
Yes. It was a combination of, okay, we're here for this wedding. It's going to happen. We're going to enjoy it. And then, the storm was moving so slowly. They had projections of when it would hit, but then it would be shifted day by day. So it'd be pushed further out as in reference to the anticipation of the storm. So no one knew that the airport was going to shut down Sunday.
Yeah.
But Saturday, people were trying to get out.
You're from Charleston. You're familiar with strong storms. You've been through a hurricane or two in your day. Does that compare to any experience you living in Charleston at all?
My God, no.
Oh.
Melissa is a contender. I don't remember. I think they said it's maybe the second or third worst storm historically recorded. I will confirm that for sure.
Yeah.
If there's a category 6, she would be a 5.56 for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Where did y'all hunker down?
Within the resort,
Okay.
they had a theater and a conference room, so they just gathered everyone in those two spaces so that we could be safe and they could monitor, people's health.
And that's some of the damage. You can see it right there on your screen, right there, of the aftermath, the immediate aftermath from Hurricane Melissa. Again, one of the more destructive storms in the Atlantic Ocean's history. When did you make it back? Because you were unsure when the airport was obviously closed, but you were unsure, and we were like, I don't know if she's gonna make it back this weekend. When did you make it back?
Oh gosh, I don't remember the date, but it was the Sunday before. So last Sunday.
Last Sunday you made it back.
Last Sunday. So we were there a total of 12 days. Expected to be only like 5, so an extended week. So the intention was celebrations, and the ending was a missions trip. So it was a combination of goodness all around. I mean, the storm was what it was, but we were there intentionally and purposefully, and although it was a traumatic experience, it was an amazing experience as well, just to be there for the people.
What was you said amazing experience as far as being there for the people? I know you said y'all were cleaning up and y'all were doing what you could to help out. Can you talk about that experience?
Yeah, I think it was more of an emotional support as well, since we've been through storms. And that region hadn't had a huge storm like that in a long time. So thankfully, the resort was prepared. Like they were prepared. They had a hurricane like last year. It was like a 2 or 3, but this 5 was rocking. So they had their systems in place, and it was just a matter of not just the staff that was there experiencing the storm, but all of the guests. So there are people from all over the world that had never even been through a hard rainstorm. So it was their first ride, you know. And
oh man, I think I saw the post. It might have been on your IG story or IG post when you were on the plane. I was like, oh man, she's finally making it back to Charlotte. What when you made it back? Did you even think it was real? Did you were like, oh man, this is finally happening? Like,
you know, the thought to kiss the ground was there, but then I was like, I don't want to die. I don't want to have survived a 5 and then kiss the ground and die from some flesh-eating bacteria. So yeah, it was surreal. It felt good to be in Miami, because we originally had just like a nonstop flight coming out of Montego Bay. That airport was destroyed. We had to get a taxi to go to Ocho Rios. That was an 1.5 hour ride, and we didn't care. We were like, we're gone. And it was great that we actually went that route, because we were able to see some of the devastation on the way to the other airport. Other people were leaving from Kingston, which took like 3.5, 4 hours, and you know, I was like, my PJ isn't here, but I'll take that little charter. I'll take that little charter right there.
Talk about what you do. You made it back here in the Charlotte area, but and I want to pick your brain about a couple of things.
Sure.
But you've been here. Can I say how many years you've been here?
You can.
You've been here for 27 years in the Charlotte area. Talk about what you do for a living.
So I am a realtor. I service the Charlotte and surrounding areas, as well as South Carolina. So I'm licensed in both states. And, you know, home is just, that's part of my heart, to have assist people in obtaining, you know, properties and, you know, investing in their health and their wealth.
Why? What led you down that path? Why?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think I'm just a structural person. I've always been involved and had a desire to do something. I'm naturally a builder. I pride myself on building relationships, right? And I think that some professions don't focus on that, and to me, real estate does. Yeah. And prior to that, I was in another profession where I'm just hands-on, people-oriented, just love people, and prayed about what would be next. And real estate was a revelation, and I'm in it.
Oh man!
And I'm enjoying it.
I'm
enjoying it. So if you need to buy or sell a home in Charlotte, North Carolina, or surrounding areas, Dacquin Curry is available.
A lot has been said about affordability. Like, it's, you know, I hear it all the time. My rent is high. My mortgage is high. What are some things that folks that go into the home buying process that you see that maybe they should keep in mind or have in mind as they're going through that process? Because I think people just kind of go in head first from stories I've heard and don't do enough research. But what's some of the things that you see that some of the I don't want to call it mistakes, but
missteps.
There you go.
Yeah. Research is important, but at the same time, I think anyone who has an interest in, you know, the home purchase or home selling aspects and the processes thereof need to get with a professional realtor. It's important, because there are things that we know and things that we have access to that the average consumer doesn't. And if you want proper guidance, and if you know, want to go through a process where you're not just guessing, but you have actual facts and someone to support you throughout the process, it just makes sense. I mean, when my husband and I were looking for, you know, our very first home, and my husband's a veteran, so I want to say Happy Veterans Day to all veterans everywhere.
You can shout him out, say his name.
Him. There you go.
Say his name, shout him out.
Bobby Curry III. I appreciate you. Thank you for your service to our country and to your family.
Oh man, I do, follow up. Shout out to Bobby. I do want to ask again, to that point, you know, folks, you know, getting hooked up with the right folks, doing your research. How would you say the real estate market is here in Charlotte now? What is the climate from your perspective?
Well, the climate right now is more buyer focused.
Yeah.
Inventory is what it is, right? It's been low. The average buyer has been waiting for interest rates to shift, right?
Yeah.
I advocate what's best for the buyer.
Yeah.
Every situation is totally different. But there are so many different programs out there, especially for first-time home buyers, and that's why it's important to, be educated and get to that point to where you trust a realtor who's going to introduce you to, different options and different lenders, and get a full understanding before you just kind of just go out there and then tell all your business, tell how much you can afford, and then somebody takes advantage of you. I like to safeguard my clients.
So my takeaway: the right time is making sure is when you've done your research and making sure when you've got connected with the right folks. That's the right time, because folks try to make it the right time versus the economy, interest rates. But it's when you do the research and when you get hooked up with the right folks, right?
And when you just are ready, you can pay rent for a long time, but it pays to really invest in yourself in the process of home ownership.
All right, Dacquin. All right, I might be giving you a call.
I think you should.
Look at her. She's trying to sell me right now.
I have to.
I will say this again. Happy Veterans Day to Mr. Bobby.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming back. I'm glad to see you here in person. I'm glad you
Me
made
too.
it back. We were concerned.
We kept tabs on you.
We kept tabs on
I
you.
appreciate your concerns and your tabs and your texts.
And
Whenever
prayers.
I received them, yes, the prayers for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And folks,
they were felt.
folks here in Charlotte, South Carolina, North Carolina, check Dacquin out. She's on Instagram. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you so
Don't
much.
be a stranger.
I will not.
Come back. Come back to the neighborhood. I call this the neighborhood now. Come back to the neighborhood. It felt like a neighborhood today.
Thank you, Nick.
Dacquin Curry, thank you for your time.